Right. And the lane, you mustn't fight in the middle. Can I stand?
Do you want me to have? I'll have a word with them now. Just get away.
Two questions, two, ne? No, not four, two, be quick. Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to our Springbok Captain's Press Conference. With us we've got captaincy Kolisi on the right, and we've got Mzwandile Stick, our assistant coach, on the left. We're going to go with the usual procedure, English for the first 20 minutes, and then Xhosa for the last 10 minutes. So, yeah, any takers for the first question?
Sia, it's nearly 3 years since you had home fans watching you in South Africa. What is this game going to mean to you guys with 50,000 in attendance?
That's something that we're all excited about as a team. I think the last time we played at home was against Argentina before the World Cup at Loftus actually. And I think, yeah, people have been missing seeing us play. We've been missing the people as well. I think, yeah, the biggest thing for us is that we haven't played together. You know, this year it's our first game. We want to make sure we start off well, and yeah, we want to make sure that we make everybody proud that comes out tomorrow.
How's it here? Last year, after the end of your tour, you spoke about the mixed feelings of the season, in how you were happy with the way the guys had overcome all the COVID challenges and everything, but you weren't too happy with sort of the percentage of wins against losses, and over the entire season. So, looking ahead to this season now, ahead of the first match, what is the goal for you guys and what are you hoping to achieve over the season going forward?
Yeah, we obviously want to build momentum. That's what we wanted to achieve last year. And I think the tough part last year was how close the games that we lost by last year. And obviously the coaches did a lot of research on what made us get those losses. And now that's what we're working on this year, on how we can make sure that those 2 points differences come our way. So that's what we want to see come right this year. And we want to make sure we build momentum going forward. And obviously Coach Russ and Coach Charles always says, it's all about building depth. You can see the squad that we have while winning, obviously. So hopefully people get opportunities while thinking of going to the World Cup next year.
Hi, Sir. If I could just ask, obviously very familiar with Alan Wyn-Jones as captain of Wales. This time it will be Dan Biggar. What do you expect from his captaincy on the other side?
I think he's a very good player. I've seen him play, and obviously I saw when he played for the Lions as well. He's a very vocal guy, and he gets the team behind him, especially when his confidence is high and he's playing well. And obviously watched the Premiership as well. I've seen him perform there. So if he's on song, everybody gets behind him. It's different to Elton is also the same. I think when he comes on the field, he's going to add more experience to the side. But I think Dan Biggar is going to, he's done it before, so it's nothing new.
So, just from Wales, can you just outline how important Springboks are to the South African culture and people, and also, obviously, in times of this week, we've been talking about the load shedding, how important it is, to go out there and show what you're about.
We don't make the lights come on. But I think for me, I remember the first interaction I had with the Springbok before he became a Springbok, and my hero when I grew up was Butsoli Kivilika, and I stayed 3 houses away from his school, and I would stand on the roof of my house to see when he's playing, and it would fill up. Coach Stick, would tell you this, and we would fight on who can carry his bag, and to see him make it, not like me where I got a shortcut, I got a scholarship, he did from the situations that he came from, and it was tough playing rugby in the township then. And then going to see him become a Springbok, which gave me that little bit of hope that it is possible. Coach Stick also did the same. He didn't get the bursary to go to an English school. For me, to be able to see someone like me who could make it from the same situation that I come from really inspired me. And then finally meeting Spring School in I was in grade 8, standing in lines, and the Springbok bus came in. They were playing in Rebecca that weekend, and I got the signature of Stalberg, and that always stuck with me. And then years later, I got to play with him, which I never thought was possible. And like when the Springboks play in the weekend, it feels like when I was at school, it just feels like everything is okay for that moment. The people are excited to go to work. It doesn't take away your problems, but it makes you feel okay for a couple of minutes. Some people, it makes people smile, and it gives you something positive to talk about when the Springboks do well. And that's what it's always done. And we think of that every single time we put in the jersey. With some guys, we say it's just a rugby game. It's not for us. It goes far deeper than that. And we take that seriously, and that's why it hurts so much when we don't do well in the field. And that's what keeps on driving us each and every single weekend. That's why it's so important that people back this weekend and it's sold out. And that's what we mean to South Africa. We don't take that for granted at all. And we want to represent every single person that's standing in that crowd. That's why we give it our all. If you're tired, you put up your head and sit, because you don't want to cheat the team and you don't want to cheat people of South Africa. Get off the field and then let the next guy come on.
Any questions? Kompulsie?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Zena. Skipper, can I ask you, I'm originally from Cape Town though. I'm based here in Gauteng at the moment. It's always a daunting prospect when you go to Loftus Versfeld, you walk through that tunnel, there's a sign that says
Altitude matters.
altitude matters.
Yes.
What exactly does that mean for any visiting side, especially for yourself who plays for a coastal provincial side, and for side for coming from Wales now? What would that mean for them, and what does it mean for the home side though?
I would say it's different because Wales has been here, I think for the week now. I'm not sure what they came in, but whenever we come here and you walk out and you see that side, it just reminds you where you're at, because you always try not to put that in your head. But it's for both teams at the end of the day, it matters for both teams. But at this age, at this stage, you are in international rugby. That can't be an excuse. Whether I'm coming from a union or I'm coming from SA Rugby, I have to make it work no matter where I'm playing. So I know Wales won't make that as an excuse because they face different challenges. When you also go there, the temperature is different. It's very cold there, so you can never make that an excuse. So I don't think they're worried too much about that. And I know they've obviously come here prepared because the fixtures were done earlier in the year. So yeah, I think they won't be too worried about that.
Prastik, Sian, good afternoon, gentlemen. Question for you, Prastik. You've talked about preparing for 2023, and the past 2 years has just been tricky, but is tomorrow where the journey towards the 2023 World Cup truly begins?
Yeah, I think for us as coaches, and it's something that we share with our players. We compare the time we are in as back in 2018, when Arasi and Jacques came back in South Africa and we started building. So we're following the similar theme when it comes to the build-up with regarding to this one. That's why you can see in our squad also there's a lot of young faces coming through, because we want to be able also, while we're winning at the same time, we want the youngsters also to learn from the senior guys, the experienced guys. So for us, yes, it's a build-up towards the World Cup, but it's always nice as a team to build while we're winning. Because of in South Africa, if you don't win, people are passionate about the game. So it's very important for us to make sure that we build in a right space where we are in a winning environment, and that's what we stand for as a Springboks. We've got a lot of pride on what we do as a team. So once again, I think we are in a good position, because if you look at our players now currently, a lot of them, they've played in the URC finals between the Bulls and the Stormers, and then there were also a couple of guys that were playing overseas in the finals, guys like Jasper Wiese, So I think as a country, as a nation, we are in a healthy space regarding to our rugby. But once again, it doesn't take away the challenge that we're going to have to face tomorrow, Kanyise. It's Wales side, I think in that back line alone, they've got about 6 players that were in the British and Irish Lions squad. So if you look at their back three, big physical boys. Liam Williams has got a big heart. He's got a stubborn attitude where he doesn't go away when it comes to playing the game. So it's going to be a big challenge for us. But once again, to play in front of the packed Loftus, where we've never, after winning the World Cup, we've never got to give our people, a bit of a taste of what we've achieved in Japan. So for us, I think the main thing is, like Sia said earlier on, is to make sure that we make our people proud. We unite our country, and the best we can do as a Springbok team is to perform between the 4 lines, and I hope that we can achieve that for some weekends.
Sia, just over here. The 2019 World Cup, I won't use the same words, but Rassie described Wales as being tough and not like Ireland and England. As a player, what is the difference when you play Wales compared to the other home nations?
Yeah, I won't compare them to the other home nations. World guys are tough, and they won't stop for 80 minutes. We know that as a team. They will stand up to us physically the whole 80 minutes. And so when you have the opportunities, you got to take them. You saw in the semi-finals when we played them, it went down to the wire. It was so close. We've got a similar game plan. We've got a similar way of playing. And they're tough people who've also been through hardship. Some of the stories in the team when they come from, a guy like Liam Williams, our coach, he's a hard guy. He's a nice guy off the field, no nonsense. But on the field, he'll go toe to toe, and that's what we're preparing for tomorrow. We know they're going to come and match us physically. Like I said, piece is going to be important, but kicking high ball. They're going to get in the air. It's all about it's going to pick up the scraps. They're not going to be scared or anything like that. So we do respect them a lot, and that's why we made sure we prepared as hard as we can this weekend. And yeah, we're going to have to make sure that we don't just pitch up tomorrow, but we could pitch up with the right attitude.
Leadership, as journalists, we love stats. We look at a lot of things like world rankings, world number 1 versus, I'm not exactly sure where Wales is currently on the world rankings. Do you guys as players, as management, do you guys sit and analyze what's happening on the rankings? This is how easy it's going to be against Wales, or this is how tough it's going to be against Wales? And can I ask the second part of my question is that the Welsh coach said at first 20 minutes at Loftus will be vital for them if they want to be successful at the end of the match. What's your thoughts on that, sir?
To look at world, but we obviously, when we were seventh, we looked at that and we knew what we had to do to get to where we are today. And we know Wales is probably in the same conversations as we had back then, and we know what it took out of us, to get out of the situation we're in. So that's why we've given them the respect that they deserve, because we were desperate at that time. We would do anything to get out of the situation. That's why we played a defensive plan for the first time on the field, and this England scored 21 points without any tries from us. And the coach said, "You're not going to change. This is what you're going to do," because the one before didn't work. So they're going to give it everything they have this weekend, and we will too, because we don't want to go back to where we were. And the second part of the question I didn't get. The 20 minutes, for us, how we start the game is important to us, and we know that's what all teams look for, and start with intensity. That's our goal this coming weekend. We want to start with intensity, because you can't control whether they get an intercept or they get a couple of good tries. As long as they score, we just keep on coming back and make sure we do what we need to do, and it will be important in Saturday.
Hi, Skipper. Just a few words on the debutants that are coming in as the leadership in the team. What have you told them? How are they going to calm their nerves when they finally get onto the field and wearing the green and gold?
I'm happy for them, number one. I'm really happy for both of them. Salman has been with us for quite a while, and he's finally getting his opportunity now. And he's worked really hard. You get a lot of setbacks with injuries, and for him to fight back and make it here. And it's tough to make it as part of the group, but the toughest thing, what we told them both, is to stay here is the tougher part. We're satisfied with getting one cap, but the hardest thing to do is to be a Springbok with maybe 50, 60, there's not many of those. And Ulrich has had a great season, I've had to play against him. Have him running at you full pace all day long is really tough, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do. And we told him, do what you do best on the field, and we'll look after them. We've got a nice system that can look after you as a player, but the more important thing is don't lose your point of difference. Don't lose the reason why you were selected here. You were selected here for a reason, and obviously you've got work rate, which is the most important. That's what we pride ourselves in. The coaches always check work rate and physicality. Those are the two things that you look at, and then you can bring what's your second. Saturday.
Sticky's probably going to give me grief for this, but guys, Sticky has answered one question, so anything for Stick?
That's why it's called the captain's media conference.
Mzwandile, Dean Boyle from South African here. I just wanted to know, what has been the biggest challenge for you from the transition between 7s to 15s? What has been the biggest challenge for you during that transition?
I think if you can survive the 7s, one thing I always tell people around is that if you can survive 7s, you can survive anywhere. Because of the values that you learn at the 7s. If you look at the guys now we've got in our squad also, a guy like Chesney Colby, Smith. Those are not the biggest rugby players in the world, but the hearts they've got, and they've been through tough times. It's very, very tough, and in the 7s games, there's no place to hide, So that is something that I feel like it's something that prepared me in the future, Even when I came to the 15s, for me, it was a not ready, a difficult transition because of even the role that I had in the Sevens as a leader. You know, it helped me to become a better person, you know, to be able to face a lot of different challenges. And then there's one thing also that we always try in our team. Sia spoke about it earlier on, about the work rate that we want to have on the field. And it's something that I'm very passionate about, you know, more especially with my role as off-the-ball coach also. So you can just imagine now, if you got a Fransman leader who's got the mindset of the sevens player, you know, you probably can achieve anything. And a lot of great teams in the world, they've always got those tighties that can go to dark places for 80 minutes. I think that is something that is still a big work on for our side, but once again, it's something that's close to my heart, you know, and I always look back and I always tell people about this, that I will always be grateful with the opportunity that I had, that I was given back then in the sevens. I think that's something that made me a better person also in life.
Mzwandile, there was quite a lot of criticism of the Springboks attacking play last year, and obviously there were good reasons for that, you know, with COVID and have not played for so long and that. But Jacques and Rassie have both spoken about trying to evolve the game a bit this year. For you, what do you want to see from attack? Obviously the first shoots on Saturday, but the rest of this year.
Yeah, I know. Listen, we live in South Africa. You know, we've got about 11 official languages. 11 official languages. So a lot of people will always have a different opinions, and it's something that we respect also as a coaching staff. You know, and it's once again, it's because people care. The more they talk about the Springboks, it shows that they care about it. You know, so the thing when it comes to the style of play, the most important thing for us, the biggest goal is to win rugby games. Because we know that when we win rugby games, people are happy. You know, if you had to ask me now, would I play a champagne rugby, a beautiful rugby, and lose the game, or would I rather play the so-called boring rugby and win the games? I'll take the boring rugby anytime. If it's going to make me to win games and win the World Cup, I'll take it anytime. But once again, on the other side is that I still don't understand what it means, because if you look at our wings, Makazole Mapimpi, he's got probably close to, let's say, how many games? It's about 24 games where the guy has got already more than 20 tries. Cheslin Colby is scoring brilliant tries. You've got Lucanio Arm at the outside, who's also a brilliant rugby player. So we never coach our players not to attack the space when the space is there for them. We don't coach our players not to take opportunities on the field, but we do give them the freedom to say when it's on, you can take it. And the test match level, if you think you're going to play touch rugby, you're probably won't even make it to the playoffs in the World Cup final. So for us, first things first, we play according to our strengths. And then when opportunities come for us to use the wider space, we will take them any day. But once again, I enjoy watching the Springboks, even though people don't enjoy it, but I enjoy it. I enjoy how we do things when it comes to the physical side of the game. I enjoy how passionate we are when it comes to our kicking game and how we defend. And I enjoy sometimes also when we score those brilliant tries. I think that is something, I don't want to say it in this tone, because of it's one of our strengths to be physical. And you should never move away from your strength. Same goes with the other teams, like the All Blacks. The All Blacks from the young age, they are kids. They grew up playing skillful rugby. It comes natural with them. Same goes with our players in South Africa. Physicality. Sia, you don't need to say something to make him angry. He looks angry already. He's come from Sweden. So we use that according to our strengths, you know. So we will try to manage the game very well, but when the opportunities come, Brendan, we'll make sure we capitalize from them and score many tries.
Sia, I'm just wondering, given everything you've achieved, whether the perception of being heavy favourites now sits very comfortably with the Springbok squad, because I don't think it's been disrespectful to say people are writing Wales off just because of their recent results. They won one in the Six Nations. Is there a part of you that wishes they hadn't had that loss to Italy? Because you do sometimes hear people quite enjoying the underdog tag.
No, I don't celebrate that. We've been there too, so we are no ones to be laughing at anyone actually. We've actually also on the worst side of history as well. You know, I played in a team that lost against Japan for the first time, we lost against Italy, so and the thing is, we've been there, so we know what it feels like, you know, and we know what it takes to get out of a situation like this, and we know how it feels to be in that situation and what you will do to get out of it. So we, you know, as much as they're in a tough position, but that can bring a side together to get them out of the situation. And knowing the players that I've played against in the field and I've felt how it feels like to play against Wales, they're not gonna be thinking, you know, keeping up with it soon, you know. And what bigger way to get out of the hole than playing against, you know, the #1 team in the world, you know. And we know that because we've been there. And if we, like our coaches have reminded us, just think of how you felt and what you would do on the field when you get on the field and you play against the #1 team in the world, where you're seventh, where everybody says you can't get out of it. So we've done our homework and we know what they're going to bring, and you know, we respect them, you know, and we respect them a lot, so that we know that when we turn up tomorrow, we've got to turn up like we want to win, you know. And we can't also disrespect the people that have bought tickets, the people that have been seen us for so long, and pitch up, you know, and thinking that everything is going to happen. So we've prepared enough and we know exactly what Wales can do, and hopefully we can, yeah, get the first one under the belt.
Coach Stick, much has been said about Elton starting at 10 ahead of Andre, second choice, people question his game and so on. What is it about Elton that you'll be expecting from him tomorrow?
I think Eli has been one of the key players when it comes to our system. He's been with us for years, you know, and Andre just joined our squad when I think it was on Sunday, you know, when he played the final on that side, joined our squad. Elton was with us in Pretoria for the 3 weeks when we had conditioning camp, and there were a couple of things that we introduced in those camps. I think Elton is aligned with our plans and what we want to achieve and how we want to play the game, more especially on attack also, as you mentioned, and with our kicking game. So I think Elton is the person at the moment currently, what we want to achieve. I think he's the one we had more training on the field when we were in Pretoria. And then once again, for us, there's no first or second choice regarding to those two players. You know, we know both of them are key. And at any time, even if, let's say, Elton gets sick tomorrow morning where he can't perform, we don't even hesitate to select 100 products. Same goes with the other way around. Elton, we know that he's always ready because he trains very hard and he's very professional about how he takes his game, you know. And if you think about it also, if you look at the players, both of them, Elton didn't play a lot of rugby this year. Same goes with Andre Pollard. I think he's got about 100 minutes in total in this season. So they're both not far from each other regarding to match game fitness. But the thing is, because of Elton was with us earlier, you know, I think it was fair for us to give him a fair opportunity, and we know his leadership skills at 10. His Lions played 3 finals in Super Rugby because of Elton, one of the key players there. He was one of the leaders in that team. So I'm actually excited to see him getting an opportunity tomorrow. And once again, I think he's got a strong head over his shoulders. I hope everything will go according to the plan. And the nice thing also is playing with Faf next to him, guys that have been playing together at the Lions back in the days, and we know what those guys have done together as a combination. So I'm excited and looking forward to that combination also.
Guys, we are running out of time. We've got just over 5 minutes, so we're switching over to Xhosa.
It's called isiXhosa. isiXhosa.
Masibulele zina sibulele kuni bahlekazi plastic saqala pha kuwe man bininzi incoko enhle ke ngoDamian Williams eqala ke enguye kuvala umnyango kodwa ke isininzi sexesha ke bidlala phezulu naManfresh Thomas khapho nje usithuphe kwingcingo zenu uzuba adlale pha kemva nenjongo zenu enifuna uzibubo enifuna uzibona kuye kule midlalo emithathu ilandelayo kanye lo midlalo enifuna adlale ke pha kemva
Kanyiso indaba kaDamian Williams because at least I'm coaching from a junior box and I know his strengths zakhe ndiyazazi ne-weaknesses zakhe into endiyithandayo ngayo is just a good footballer. Yabona ukuthi the footballer ke umuntu onokwazi umdlalisa naphi na angasemva, but kodwa ke as abaqeqeshi, because I remember nami in my playing days but xa ukwazi udlala everywhere, you're the right person, the coach to have in your team in case something happens somewhere, injuries yabo. uDamian Williams, I think thina njengabaqeqeshi kubalulekile ukuba sinike opportunity naye i-coach ne-team, singamane sidla kumele go around ngaye, singamniki position azokwazi usetlisha kuyo. If uyakhumbula last year when we played against Wales, Damian, I think he was concussed kula esadlala overseas, and it was always a plan, but kukho i-opportunity simnike i-opportunity naye azokwazi ukusetlisha yini, yabona, because of at least siyayazi uba sintoni esinayo pha kuvili level. yabona kudala edlala lapha etimini yethu ne-experience but kodwa-ke ibalulekile nayo bafana njengodamian yabona sibaphe i-chance. Iyakhumbula even ngo-2018 uDamian Williams ngoba dlala ne-England lapha eTwickenham wayekhona kula match sabethwa ngenqaku linye. Ukuba ukwazi ukudlala phambi kabalandeli be-England uyayazi ku-rough ke xa useTwickenham yabo. So for umntana omncinci ngelaa xesha akwazi uperforma in front of i-crowd yaseTwickenham, it shows uba lo mfana noko engqondweni umuntu oqinileyo ngumuntu osemandleni. And siyamazi ke unayo expect, siyamazi unayo expect unenhliziyo enkulu. So naye kubalulekile singabaqeqeshi noko sikwazi umpha ithuba kwenzele kaloku singamane simfaka qho off the bench yabona. Fumaniseke uba now he must try to impress coaches. Uyayazi laa ndawo kuyo, there's no pressure in the sense of uba funeka try izinto ezifensi. Is that to make sure uba afite in kwiplan yethu and adlale nabadlali bakhe abasecamu kwakhe, and sithi make sure uba xa i-opportunity khona for uba atake ispace atake ispace. But otherwise uyambona even lithi xa lesikomaso I think uyakhula lo mfana, ingqondo yakhe iyaqinile. Yeah, but I'm also ndijonge phambili uba ndimbukele naye xa edlala ngomso. I hope everyone understands.
Sia, just two questions. Ithetha ntoni kuni into yodlala phambi kwe-crowd for the first time since niwine indebe yomhlaba, and abantu abayi-50,000 sell out Loftus, and then okwesibini nilindele ntoni kwi-Wales?
Uzawuba khona negwitho
Ngicala ukuthi i-changing room Womso. No, siyavuya kakhulu but ndagqibela ubona abantu ngelaa xesha before i-World Cup game yam endibuyela kuyo kuba ndenza isquad, and ibalulekile kakhulu kudimanda lento because sidlala nje sidlalela abantu base-South Africa, and iyasincouraja, iyasikhuthaza kakhulu yoba amadlala phambi kwabantu base-South Africa, and abantu bafeyisa iingxaki ezininzi emhlabeni namhlanje apha eMzantsi Afrika, and ndayazi asotshintsha i-situation ezikuyo abantu, but laa mizuzwana mimbalwa sikwenza abantu bancume, abazali bakhupha abantwana endlini and i-holiday noba i-holiday ngoku bayibukela irugby. Xa begoduka ngecawa ngomvulo ngolwesibini bathetha into eyi-one, and especially xa siwinile. So iyasincouraja kakhulu loo nto thina, and so to make sure that's why sipreparishe kakhulu for le match ibalulekile nge-Wales. Sikwazi uyithatha for granted because i-team kasoloko i-close ii-matches zethu ehlala nabo. Eyesibini oh yeah, no, bazoza siyabazi bayakhaba badlala ihlobo edlala ngalo, and izobalulekile ibalulekile uba i-set piece yethu siyenze kakuhle kule weekend kuzo zombini, naxa sifumana amathuba singoyiki siwathathe because awuzoba maninzi because badlala ngokufanayo. Sifuna udlala kulaa mhlaba wabo nabo bafuna udlala kulo mhlaba wethu. So I think ekupheleni kwemini izawuba ngubani ozodominate i-set piece nangubani ozothatha amathuba wabo.
Hello, gents. Yeah. Ngicela ukubuza ngesingisi because Xhosa sam is not very good. Why is it difficult, Sia, to play when you have the favourites tag on your back? Is it a mindset? Why is it different?
Oh,
yes, please.
So is that English? Yabona kuko
no, you're supposed to ask us twice.
I'll ask you soon to make time.
Yeah, yinto leyo kwakunyanzelekile usithethe ngayo as a team because ixesha esininzi before siwine i-World Cup besizi-underdogs, but kwanyanzeleke uba sibe ne-conversation siyi-team yabo, kwathethwa uba asizi-underdogs anymore yabo, and but akho nto itshintshileyo yabo for thina, but funeke sicinge ngoba sizi-underdogs manje sethu ibisithini. So uba singene kulaa ndawo and siyazi uba bazoza nantoni abantu, then ndipreparishe mna uba mna ndizayidifenda njani laa nto okanye thina sabathe kanjani. So thina ngoku asiyibaleki loo nto, siyayazi asinophuma nabadlala nabantu basizi-underdogs anymore. I-preparation yethu ayigqithi, and yeah, and thina sizibona ngaba bantu uba sisuke eSouth Africa asikwazi walk around proud uba siyawina, funeka sibonise ngqale ebaleni and siyakwenza njalo nathi akho nto sayitshintsha.
I think most just to add on what Usia, but I'm going to say this in English so that also everyone understands. I think to add on what Sia was saying, the thing is, remember, we've been in that position also, you know, as a number 7 team in the world in 2018. And we knew at that time when the All Blacks were the best team in the world, number 1 for a long time, we knew if we win against the All Blacks, a lot of people will forgive us, even if we got 50% win ratio at that time. So that's why for us, at least we could breathe after the All Blacks game. To understand, people of South Africa could see, okay, there is something here in this team. And we've built from that win, you know, because of, remember, we've lost against Argentina in that same season, you know, and to be able to win against the best team in the world, you know, we were desperate on the other side. And we understand very well, that's something that we spoke about during the week. We know very well that Wales will be desperate to beat the best team in the world. Wales will come hard against us. They, like we said earlier on when we were chatting, those guys, they just stubborn. They don't go away. So for us to be able to stay at Palazzo Hotel and have a blue light when we go to training sessions, it's something that we spoke about it. That if you're going to be too comfortable, and with the players and the quality they've got in that team, you might find yourself, like Sia said, you might find yourself being 20 points down. So we're not going to take them for granted, that's one. And another thing that where we find motivation as South Africans, it's just deeper than the game, you understand? It's deeper than the game. Our motivation is in making the households out there a better place. You know, there are people that, like Sia said, there are people who've got a lot of problems, you know, but at once when the Springboks are playing, I'm telling you, go on the streets, you know, you will get people hugging each other. I'm talking about black and white and pink and brown. Everyone just is happy just to, at that moment, to be South Africans. And then the load sheddings will come later on and then people will get angry again. But once again, that's the moment where people can forget about our problems, you know, and just be happy to be a South African. So we're not going to take them for granted. And our motivation is just deeper than just to play against Wales. It's to make everyone in South Africa proud.
Thank you so much. That concludes our press conference for today. Have a lovely day and drive safely. Thanks.